Hello. I feel like I'm going to start every video lately with it's been a minute. I'm still not very talkative. I'm even less than before. But there's been a situation that I wanted to just talk through, both for me, hopefully also for you, and giving you some taglines. I would say it's about acceptance, accepting to be the bad guy, being vilified, conflict resolution, not resolution, that's the wrong word, dealing with conflict, navigating conflict, the benefits of therapy, how much I love myself always. Family dynamics. I think that's about it. So I will just talk, and hopefully I'm not fully clear, like I'm not processed fully yet, but processed enough to want to be here. So I'll tell you the situation. Hearing someone walking upstairs, and the situation is with the woman who lives upstairs. So, background. I think she doesn't like me. We had a few conflicts already. But the conflict that like surfaced the last 2 days have been like big for me. So I don't know what information is relevant. She have been wanting to plant flowers in the garden, and she asked me, along with the other people that lives here, like there are 2 brothers living the first floor, like me and them, we have half the house, and she lives in the second floor. She has all second floor to herself, and then there's 2 Thai women that live in the garage. And the Thai ladies, they came a bit after me, so they are the newest, I'm fairly new, they have lived here for years. And so this lady upstairs wants to plant flowers in the garden, and she asks me, do I want to participate? Do I want to share the cost of... So she wants to buy the flowers, she wants to decide what flowers she this will be the fun part for me, like going to the plant shop, the flower shop, and like picking out things and having someone else pay for it. That's kind of like a bit what it feels like to me. So she wants to do that, but she wants us to share the cost. And first of all, I do not want to, when she asked that, like I don't want to be responsible for those plants during the summer. I don't want to have to water them, tend to them, none of that. I also don't feel like that's the main thing. I also don't want to spend money and not get the fun because buying them will be the fun for me. So I told her, no, I don't want to participate in that. So I think that already made her feel like, oh, I don't want to like participate in the common good, or for the common good, like I don't want to do that. I think this is going to be like a bit all over the place. And then, so I think she got upset with that. Because she said that, well, she told me to my face, well, if people don't want to participate and pay, then they should also not use the garden. And I'm just like, nah. No, that doesn't make sense. And I think she's also, because they had maybe, I don't know, sometime before I moved in, she initiated like buying some things for the garden, like a barbecue, like a grill, and some decoration. So I think she wants that. She wants the garden to be like a certain way, which is, it's nice. I mean, the flowers are really nice. I just don't want to be a part of it. I would rather have it less nice and don't have to do anything. So I'm moving in, and those things are already in place. So I'm now, and she said, like, of course, and I think she is into being kind. So she's like, of course you can use those things. We've already paid for them, things like that. So I think she is also now a bit upset that there are things there that I could benefit from. I haven't used any of them because I don't want to entangle myself in anything. But she offered, so she is now the nice one who, and I'm just freeloading if I were to use them. Which is, it's almost like I've already used them though, because it was offered and I haven't paid. And it also, there's just so much about her as a person that's like not sitting right with me at all, like at all. When I first moved in, and she talked to me about the Thai ladies that moved in after me, and she was suspecting that they were prostitutes and selling themselves and whoring out, and because they work at this massage place, and she was very clear that maybe she was being a bit judgmental, but she was being she continued, and she talked about the brothers, and it's the way she talks about them, it's very others, like other, which doesn't really sit that well with me. But I also didn't want to I kind of like just went along, because that's, I don't know, because I don't want an argument. And then the owner of the house, the landlord, he sold the house after I moved in, and a private company, they bought the house, and they're not doing things by the book at all. They're shady as fuck. The guy who owns it, the disaster. He's nice in the way that he'll say all the nice things, but he doesn't, he's just sneaky. So then they took over, and it became like a situation with the contracts. And when I signed the contract with the first landlord, it's like, this is the amount, and it includes this space, and it includes Wi-Fi, not electricity, but Wi-Fi. And then the new landlord, he wants us to pay for the Wi-Fi, which is included in the contract. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not doing that. The guys, the boys, they said yes, and she was like, I don't really want to say yes, I'm already paying, but they have. I think she said yes because she already got a good deal on something else, and she was afraid that would be like revoked. So she's like, oh, I'm not going to make any waves, I'm just going to accept. I didn't have that same concern. I was like, okay, I'm not. So all of them said yes, and I didn't. And now her story is, I'm not paying for the internet, which is not true. She's just paying extra. But I'm paying, it's included in my rent. It's so mad how like different realities. I should have fucking taglined that from the start. So the things are piling up now. It's just like mounting. It's just a bit resentful about that. And and then I have, on 2 occasions since I moved in, I've downloaded something. And the first time I did in the middle of the day. That was stupid. And she mentioned that like the next time I don't, maybe she texted me, I don't remember. We had a conversation where she was like, oh, the connection here is so bad, it's always been like that. And she was clearly dissatisfied. And she was like, I don't know who's doing what, or like she was talking very negatively about the whole thing. So I was like, oh, I'm scared now, and this is on me, this is me being weak, you know. I'm like, I don't want to admit that, because I knew that it was my fault because I was downloading something, and I should have told her, and I didn't. So weak person right here, owning that. Next time it happened, I had already been sitting with, fuck, I lied, I don't like that. That's so shitty. So the next time I was downloading something, and I think I was trying to do it at that time when like I think she will not be affected. So I was trying to be considerate, and still maybe I was thinking she wasn't home, I'm not sure. But then she texted and she was like, I've asked all, and this is part of it, like every time she messages me, it's like she already has this energy of, you've done something wrong. It I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I've asked everyone else, it was not them, it has to be you. So you're the bad guy, and just get ready to be punished. It has like this energy. and it's really like unpleasant. But as I said, because I had that process after the first time I lied, I was like, I'll admit it. Like, I want to be truthful. So I was like, that's my fault. I'm doing something that's taking the bandwidth. I'm sorry. I'll stop it. And then I got a lecture. So that should be enough. Like that's, to me, I'm so proud of myself for like, okay, she's upset, she's coming to me with accusations and making me the bad guy, and I'm like, yes, done, yes, that's me, I'm sorry, I'll fix it. Then that all she, in my opinion, should have done is like, oh, thank you, please don't do it again. And I'll be like, okay, that's fair. But she instead started to lecture me, like, you have to think about all the other people who lives here, and you can't just use the internet as you want, like no one else exists in the world. And I got this tirade, right? And I'm kind of like, okay. Let me think. So I think after that I got really careful about, okay, I'm going to wake up. Those mornings I'm waking up super early, like 4:30 or 5. I'm going to start the download then because she is asleep. I'll be good. Like, it's going to be okay. And yeah, it's going to be okay. And then I had on Sunday planned poorly. My fault, my bad. So I'm downloading and it's 8 in the morning. And the download's not going so fast. So it took me an hour and 15 minutes to download the whole thing. So at some point in the download, I'm like, she is probably awake now. I think I can hear her. She's awake. So I will be considerate and be like, I'll text her. I'm trying to cover my own ass and be like, and both cover my own ass, but also to be considerate. And I texted her and said, I'm downloading something. If you're awake and you need to use the internet and it's taking the bandwidth, can you please just tell me and I'll stop immediately. To me, that's a kind message and considerate. And I was hoping she would be like, thank you for letting me know. I'm good. Like, I'm not using the Wi-Fi. Instead, I got another lecture. Like, text message, 3 parts. And I'm just like, oh my god, this is horrible. So man, that puts me in such a dissociative state when that happens, because like I think first of all that puts me in some sort of like fight or flight, because I get like floaty in my head. That's not really a good sign. And lots of parts, lots of like internal arguments or conflict, like debate happening. So I'm trying to process, trying to figure out like what's what and all of this. And one of the questions, and this is one of the things that are still unprocessed for me, is because I thought I was being reasonable. I thought that, so because we live in the same house, so it's kind of like a family. If I were living at home, although it's not also, because we're different units, whatever. But if I were to live at home, in my home, a house, like this is home, I would most definitely like downloading a movie, that would be okay. Also, if I fuck up the Wi-Fi for my brother and he's playing video games, then I would probably be like, his playing has first priority, I will just download it later. Or ask him if like, if I really need to watch the thing right now, which is talking about first country problems here, then I would ask him, can I just have like 15 minutes and I'll be done. But I started, so I thought I was being reasonable, but then with her message, and it's really interesting because in her messaging she speaks on behalf of everyone. So this is manipulation to me. She's taking the brothers and the 2 Thai ladies on her team, on her side. Like, do you think we're okay with that? Do you think it's like me against them? She's making that super clear. And I think she sees me as the one, like the one who makes life difficult. And it's very interesting because when we talked about the new landlord wanting to increase the, or not increase, yeah, increase the rent because he wanted us to pay for the Wi-Fi. And she really didn't want to. She was really frustrated with that, like a lot. And she said the two guys, the brothers, they just accepted. And she said they're very conflict avoidant. Very conflict avoidant. So they probably just passively said yes to avoid anything. So that made her feel like she couldn't stand up or stand out. Which, thank God, I've gotten some practice in this and I'm good. So I think when she is asking for, when she wanted to buy like the grill and the decorations, and when she continues to like want to buy the flowers, I think they are not really, I think they just say yes because it's easier to say yes than to be her enemy, kind of. And I'm not, yeah, because they're conflict avoidant. So yeah, so she's pitting all of them against me. Like, I'm laughing but I cried. I already did that. Let me think. Yeah, I was really on the night or the evening of Sunday. I don't know. This is so interesting because I'm struggling to have like a timeline of things, and I think that's because it's so taxing, it's so challenging for me to be like, I'm getting like the notification of a message on my phone and I'm like, I want to just not read that, and I force myself to like read it kind of as soon as I get it. It's also interesting, I was just watching Brayton's story on Instagram. He is a projector. He's emotional authority. He's emotionally defined. And he had a clip where he was talking about this is the challenge for those who are emotionally defined. It's hard to get the truth from those who are undefined. That'd be me. And that's, I think, one of the not selves for the undefined emotional center is fear of conflict, or not fear of conflict, fear of confrontation. And I mean, I'm just hearing confrontation and I'm like, yeah, no. I don't like that. And I think it's interesting. I don't know how it is to be emotional or emotionally defined, but I imagine it's powerful and strong because you have the emotions all the time in your body. So it's like you're used to that. So you're probably not scared of it, hopefully. But an undefined emotional center will take in and amplify. I think that can be scary, especially if you grew up with... hello. That's... you can go someplace else, please. Alright. I don't know what he wants. The wasp. It's a bit distracting though. It's really distracting. What was I saying? Fear of confrontation. Don't like that. I was thinking, like, in one of in one of the 2 days that this conflict has lasted, like Sunday and Monday. Sit down, chill, please. I was thinking, this is me being nice until I get pissed, and then I'm like, if you don't leave, I'll kill you. I started thinking, okay, so her reality, I tried to see it from her perspective, because I was questioning, like, am I really being super selfish? Because she sure made it sound like that. Because my solution was to just start the download super early in the morning, and then text her and be like, I'm downloading, so if you need me to stop, just please tell me. And she was like, you're being so self-centered. You think you have first priority to the internet. You just want to like do just as you please, just save money, because that's what this is about, isn't it? So you want to just don't think about anyone else, and you want to text us, not her, us. You want to text us, and we're supposed to text back and like, you're the overlord of the house here with the rights, so we will ask for your permission to please stop downloading because we need it. Like, and I tried to see it from her perspective, and I was like, yeah, maybe I am completely fucking wrong in thinking I have a right to download something. Maybe that is super selfish. Maybe if I lived in like shared housing like my sister and her fiance, they are how many floors? 10 floors and 4 families on each floor, like, maybe it wouldn't work. Of course each unit has their own Wi-Fi, so like my lady upstairs is telling me to buy my own Wi-Fi. Maybe I should just do that. Man, I've been in so confusion about this. I was thinking at some point, like, a person who I was imagining, if I had a neighbor, some neighbor would when if I downloaded something and it slowed their bandwidth, they would just be used to having people want to solve things. So they would text me and be like, hey, I'm trying to use the internet and it's going so slow, so I'm just wondering if you're downloading something. They would not make me wrong or bad. They would just ask, because they would be like, if you are, can you be considerate and stop it? And they would expect me to say yes, because that's what normal polite people do. So then they would ask that, and I would be like, yes, that's true. And they would be like, can you just pause it and maybe download something like before the time that they wake up? So they will just offer a solution. And I'd be like, yes, sure. And if I at some point download something after they wake up, I'll text them, and they'll probably think I'm considerate. And they'll just say yes or no if it doesn't work or if it works. So that's like what I think a normal person, a healthy, like a person with healthy self-worth and all this would do. She is not that. I kind of don't want to be a bitch, and kind of, I don't know. I mean, part of me is, she is struggling with something, it's obvious, and I have compassion and empathy for that, and at the same time I'm like, fucking just, she knows she's struggling, she is on social welfare, she's not working because she's struggling, so she should go to therapy and fix it. That's the other side of me. Yeah, so the two realities. So I'm like, okay, she's, me trying to see her perspective, she is in a reality where it's completely, and I think I can put myself in her position, because I think I have been this person before, and to some degree it's still in me. I think that's why it's difficult for me. If before, when I was young, before, I would have to close my eyes because I'm seeing. Before, I would be like, if someone took up space like that, I'll be like, they're fucking entitled. They think they have a right to just get their way. Disgusting. I would be like, I would so much, I don't know how to explain this feeling. I would be so much like, I would feel such a gap between us. And I think my reaction will come from I'm powerless to them. Like I have one colleague when I worked at the gym in my study city. So she would work the shift before me sometimes, and I would come like on the dot on time. And she once told me, didn't ask, told, I would appreciate you coming like a few minutes before, because my shift ends at this time, and because you're not coming before, like I have to wait until that time and spend time after my shift's done, like cleaning up or logging on the computer, whatever. So I would really appreciate if you do that from now on. And that feeling I had in that moment, like I'm being fucking put in place, I'm being told what to do, she wants me to do that. Why shouldn't she? It was just such a feeling of shame, feeling less than. It's just this really like gruely feeling inside. It's like I can feel it now even. And I would hate her. Again, entitled. Who does she think she is? And that judgment, I think it's so interesting. Because that lives inside me. That has gotten into me. And taking up space is one of, whoa. Like, it's one of my big challenges. I still struggle with confident people, being confident, speaking as if I know something. Who am I to know something? Who am I to have some authority? Who am I to know better than? Disgusting being that kind of person. Above other people. Definitely shouldn't be that. There's safety in being less than. There's safety in not knowing and being the dumb one. Like there's safety in if someone else says it's so, it's so. I can't possibly stand up against that. I'll be killed then. I told you this would be all over the place, and I think I'm delivering quite well on that. So in her reality, I am the bad guy. And the reality, so that reality is also inside me. And the reality I want to be in is the reality I explained with this neighbor who's just like, are you downloading something? Because if you are, can you please stop? Because I need to work and it's like everything's okay. That's the reality I want to be in. Where people see other people as, of course we want each other's best interest. Of course we're level here. Like, I care about you, you care about me, we'll find solutions. There's no sacrificing here, we'll find solutions. Things that works for both of us. That's what life's about. So I'm thinking, okay, so I have both. I'm probably struggling now because it's not like I have things tying them together and I have judgment, like stuff is happening. That's why I'm having a hard time. I want to step into this one. And then I had a whole lot of thinking around that. Because if I step into that one, and it was really important for me to, I don't want to exclude So I want to be able to encompass like as much as possible. That will be my practice. So I want to be in this where my standard of reality here, what I accept, is people that function like the way I told you. She is not that. Clearly again. Clearly she's not that. So what do I do? Because my first thought was, okay, I'll cater to her needs. This is my old family dynamic. I'll explain my way of thinking because it's interesting. Did I give you a heads up that I'll probably talk for a long time? Should have, because I'm far from done. So in this one, I'm like, okay, she sees me as a threat. I'm the bad, selfish person, according to her narrative, which is a valid narrative, fully. And I don't wanna re-traumatize her. I don't wanna stir up, like it's almost like I wanna accept the role she puts on me and try to be kind and nice within that role, so that hopefully like cracks her open and she can really see that her narrative is no longer accurate, like that she's operating from some old story, which will be better for her, better for everyone she is in interaction with, 100%. And I'm having a moment of realization as I said that, because that's so what I do. I try to step into the role I'm assigned, and I try to cater to them. Wasp is back. Until it's like slowly like trying to nudge until something opens and they're like, oh, awareness, nice. We can level now. Can you please go to the other side? And I was in a debate of like which one I should choose. So then I'm choosing this one, and I'm realizing by holding on to this one, by stepping into this one, by choosing this one, there's no chance. Because if I operate from this one, then I'll choose myself first. And this one I'll choose her first. And I'll choose myself first, and that will just like solidify that I'm the selfish and bad person. So I'm like, cool. Okay. And I think that like went on for some time. And again, I'm so unclear about like timeline here. At some point, maybe it was this morning, maybe it was yesterday, don't remember. Give me a second. Yeah, because I was feeling some discomfort. I was like, I feel bad, like she lives upstairs. What if I see her? Do I act like I'm the discrepancy, incongruency. It's like I was having a really hard time with that. Like, do I try to be nice because I don't like her, so I'm not like she's not nice? And I don't know if that makes sense. And she texted me yesterday because, okay, I'll say something more. So there have been some renovations before the summer, and one of the things they made, like, we had a shared like entrance where we put our jackets and stuff, and they made an entrance for her inside the entrance, so she has now her own door it was really good because she didn't have much privacy. So she now, like, the main entrance, and then there's a place where I put my shoes, and then she has a door till her entrance where she puts her shoes. And they put on the corner of the door, they put like a metal corner to protect like the wood. They didn't, I don't know what the fuck they did, but it's not holding. So sometimes when I close my door, it falls off and it hits my head, continues to hit my head. So every time that happens, I'm just like, okay, it's not sticking. I'll just put it next to the door. And that was one of the things she texted me yesterday. She was like, and it's the first message of the morning. The metal protection you keep taking off my door. So again, I'm doing something wrong. You need to stop doing that. It's meant to be there to protect. Like, okay, I'm being lectured again. Cool. So I'm explaining to her that it falls off. Like, I'm not trying to do it on purpose. It falls off, so I'm putting it next to the door. And I'm sorry. And she was like, well, okay, so can you fix it then? I'm just like, her tone is pissing me off. And I'm like, it's and at this point I'm like stopping. I'm like not interested in being nice anymore. So I'm like, it's your metal thing to your door that you want to have protected. You ask them. I don't feel very, there's a word for this in Norwegian. I don't have much goodwill at this point. Because like, yeah, I don't have much goodwill right now. So if you want to fix it, you fix it. If I feel I have more goodwill down the line, I'll do it. And then she texts me back and she asks like, why are you so angry? I've done all these nice things to you. And you're not willing to participate in anything. None of the flowers, nothing. Still, you're so angry. Why? And I text her back. And I'm like, I am angry because I don't like the way you talk to me. And I understand that we're having different perspectives on this. I understand we will not like come to a common understanding. That's okay with me. I will do my best to stay out of your way and minimize contact with you. Which, that's a fair message. In my opinion, that's a fair message. It's also very clear. And it felt good, clear to say that. And after that, I was like, oh, I don't like her. And I just told her, I don't like her. So kind of like the incongruency or like the dissonance, it's gone now. I'm the bad guy. I'm the villain. I'm the selfish one. That's me. Who I don't want to cooperate with nothing. Just thinking about myself. Hello. And I told her I don't like the way she talks to me. I don't like her. So I don't have to pretend to be nice. I don't have, like, I can just not like her. And that's the first time in my life that I've kind of like admitted that to myself and to someone else, both. That I don't like them, okay, and I will be the bad person in their story, okay. And I'll tell them I'm not cool with this. And it feels freeing. And it's interesting because until that moment, I was kind of like feeling avoidant. Like, I don't want to, what if I meet her? As I said, how should I show up? Like the level of discomfort. Feeling like probably like I have to be nice. So if she starts her like charade, I don't like that word. If she starts like being passive aggressive or actively aggressive, overly aggressive, if she's trying to like put all the, because that's so interesting also, like all the, oh, how to say it, like the role that who she sees me as, like she must have some feelings about that person that I'm playing, and I'm representing someone, so she must feel, I imagine, like I've not been considerate, I've wronged her, I'm not seeing her, she's not seen, she's not being considered, so she has probably had to bend to that person and swallow things and not get her way. She's probably having a lot of resentment and bile, like she has like poison. She wants revenge, she wants to get back, she needs her feelings out. Like that makes sense. So if she starts taking that out on me, which I mean that's fair, that will be a release. Like that will be good for her body to get that out. But if she starts doing that, now that I'm clear that I don't like the way she talks to me, I don't like it, so I don't have to accept it. I will be the bad person anyway. My God, it's so liberating. And this is where the therapy thing comes in and the inner work, because I worked now through all this, which is fucking prize to me for that. So I can now, instead of be conflict avoidant and feeling constantly, this is what would have happened in the past. I would have felt constantly like I would probably consider moving, to be honest. Because I would be like so uncomfortable about maybe I meet her or she's upstairs all the time, like she's mad at me, I've done something wrong. But because I don't feel that, because I feel so much acceptance about everything, I feel quite at ease with this. I imagine she is not, because she clearly is not in therapy or not therapy that works. So she probably has her, like the whole dynamic she is in, it's playing. I mean, I had things play out in me and I cleared that kind of. She is not. So she must suffer in this. What a life. I'm so glad I'm not her. I'm so glad I'm me. I'm so glad I have the tools to, I mean, this is everything. My own fucking inner peace. And people talk about like not being affected and being in acceptance of things. This, I'm pointing at myself, this is real peace and real acceptance. Because what many people say when they are like, no, I've accepted this. No, they didn't sort, they didn't clear nothing, they pushed things aside, down, to strong enough degree that it doesn't affect them. It's still there, but they can't really feel it that much. They feel it as little as possible so they can actually say, oh no, I'm at peace. That's like your kids screaming, so you put them in a soundproof room and you lock the door. Yeah, clever. Can't hear the kid anymore. Problem solved. I don't have a kid screaming. Yeah, you do. It's in the room. That's soundproof with a locked door. You child abuser. So I'm not that. He's probably leaving. I can hear her. So yeah, I don't know if I want to say something to round up. That was 50 minutes. I think it really is something to choose this side and be like, because when I question if I was being selfish about the downloading things, and I was imagining #therapy. My practitioner suggested this to me like a while back, to externalize. So he will be like, if you had a 6-year-old daughter, put her in the same situation and tell me, what do you think? How do you feel? If my 6-year-old self, my 6-year-old daughter, 6 years old, she's young, if she is in this situation and she just innocently wants to download something, she's trying, and she knows she lives in a house where other people also use the internet, so she will try to do it like early in the morning, and she will be like considerate, and she will, I wouldn't ever say that it's wrong of her to want to download something. I would never. So I was going somewhere with that. I was going somewhere. I don't remember now. I really don't remember. I think she upstairs, she's trying to make me feel. If she was trying to make my 6-year-old daughter feel bad for wanting to download something, because she's not being inconsiderate, the 6-year-old. So I'm like, I would just be like, what is her problem? Why is she having such a hard time with this little one trying to download something in a time of the day when she's not even awake? Like, that's strange. And it goes back to the feeling of, because I would tell this my 6-year-old daughter, like, you have a right to exist here also, you matter also, you have a right to want something, to download this thing, and that's your right. Like, no one, if someone gets upset with you for doing that, that's strange, unless you're being inconsiderate, which you're not. So it goes to the core of something that is still on process for me, like I have a right to take up space. I have a right to draw from the resources as much as other people. I have a right to, because I'm so used to folding or bending. So it's almost like this, I have a right, if I say I want something, I have a right to want that, and if someone else wants it too, I don't automatically give that up. Like, there's this feeling of, well, we both want it, but then, like, it's this very, something's different, but I'm still processing that. I'm still not clear about that. But yeah, liberating myself one day at a time. That's what I'm doing. What are you doing? Okay, I'll peace out now.